welcome to Parklife 2017. I'm all geared up here. I've got my fairy dress on. I'm a flower fairy, of course.
Fairy?
Fairy.
Okay.
I'm with Ian Puleston-Davies. He's my co-presenter for the weekend.
Hi.
I've got my little photography tabard on so I can get in the pit and get up at close and personal.
Yeah, we access so many areas. It's scary. Areas that don't even exist. The black hole of areas.
We've escaped the sofa in the studio.
Yeah.
We've got so many artists in store for you. We're meeting some. We're meeting Above and Beyond. We're meeting Sacha, the owner of Parklife from Warehouse Project. I'm excited about seeing so many artists and bands. Are you here?
Yeah, and we've got at least 3 wristbands. That makes us so untouchably popular.
Oh,
Not
yes.
popular.
Cool.
Privileged.
Oh, privileged, that's
Privileged.
the word. So I'm looking forward to seeing 1975 headlining tonight, of course.
Yeah.
And also we've got Frank Ocean headlining on the Saturday.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
And Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan, which is going to be cool.
Amazing.
And Tudor Cinema Club.
Oh yes, definitely.
And Rag and Bowman, which is...
Rag and Bowman, he's going to be awesome. I've
and
got
a lot of the smaller acts as well. The great thing about a festival is that you got the big names and you got the little tiny names, and sometimes it's quite interesting and fun to see the smaller names that maybe you've not heard.
Yeah, the up and coming, the introducing acts. There's a lot of Radio 1 DJs here actually as well. My hair's a bit windswept already.
You got that windswept look. People pay a lot of money.
Oh right, really? Okay, I feel cool now. Anyway, enough of us going on. Let's check out the bands, musicians, and let's have a boogie. Okay, so Ian, we're now joined by the festival organiser, Sacha himself. Can you believe it? Hello.
How are you doing?
Thank you for joining us in our inflatable chair studio.
Yeah, well, I tried to save money on the furniture, and I've got to apologise for my attire today.
Practical.
Yeah, that's it. It was
festival organiser gear.
A little rainy just before we opened doors, but it's good now.
Yeah.
It is. How are you hoping it's going to kick off today in terms of, like, obviously we've seen the amount of people outside, everyone's so excited. What's the kind of, what was your expectation is in, what do you want the weekend to go like?
I mean, for me, it's the biggest party of the year in Manchester. You know, there's 80,000 kids ranging from 17 to 23, that's the average. It's the biggest capacity we've ever had this year and the fastest sellout as well. So the council allowed us to have a 5k increase. But we've thrown a lot more money at the production this year. So when you walk around, some of the stages are actually bespoke, which we've never done before. And I don't want to be one of these festivals where it's the same tents and marquees that travel from festival to festival and you see the same old. So we've actually put some energy into it.
Yeah.
So is it a case, Sacha, getting back to today and tomorrow, is this the case of never in your wildest dreams, or did you have that projection? Did you have a plan of attack?
Do you know, I'd never had a plan. I've actually fluked my life. It just happened. So I went to a good school. I went to Manchester Grammar. I did well at my GCSEs. Unfortunately, during my A-level period, it hit the explosion at the Hacienda. So I didn't actually study properly at school, failed all my A-levels. And no, actually I didn't. I got an E in art, which I was very happy about. I'm really happy about it. My parents weren't at the time. But it's just sort of evolved gradually. I mean, when I was 18, if you'd said to me, you're going to have the biggest non-camping festival in the country, I'd say you're off your rocker.
What an achievement, what a wonderful achievement. I mean, getting back, if we can, to those halcyon days of the Hacienda, where were you? Where were you at the beginning, the middle, the end? What was your journey?
No, I was lucky enough to, when I was 16, I nicked my dad's tie, my dad's shirt. This is the actual true story. Nicked my dad's tie, my dad's shirt, put a cheap suit on, because all the cool kids at school were talking about the Hacienda, and I wanted to experience it. So I queued up with my friend, who weirdly is now a vicar. And
of course he is.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't acknowledge that everybody else were in flared jeans and funny hair, long haircuts, like the Shaun Ryder look. So I got to the door and the doorman said, "Listen, lads, not happening." So we tried again 2 weeks later in just jeans, t-shirts, and we got in.
So and no drugs, no ties.
Well, the actual we walked in there and there were 2,000 people doing the weirdest dance. Google acid house dance. It's a funny thing with your arms in the air and stuff. And for the first 10 minutes we said, we cannot dance to this. But within half an hour, we were doing the same dance as everybody else.
Right.
And it was electric. It was the best club night I've ever had in my entire life.
I want to talk a bit more about Parklife because, as we say, it started in Plattfields 2010. Was it about 20,000 capacity you had
20,000 capacity.
Wow, that compared to what you've got now is about 75, 80?
80,000 a day.
Wow,
so
a day.
It's pretty, and as we speak now, I think there's 38,000 people in, so we're nearly halfway through the gates.
And what about next year and the year after? I mean, are you expanding in your dreams?
We can't. This is it. Heaton Park cannot take anymore, and it's the biggest park in Manchester. And I'm not going to move it out to Manchester because, you know, myself and my business partner Sam, we're both Manchester boys, and it belongs here. It feels like a real, I don't want to cliche or soundbite, but it is a Manchester festival.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. People travel far and wide, you know.
Come from all over the country. I've had messages from people coming from New York and places like that to come to Parklife, which is great, and it's great for the city.
I'm excited about seeing the 1975 and Tudor. You're excited about Chaka Khan?
You see, we're showing an age thing now because I'm also excited about Chaka Khan.
Yeah.
And you're female, so you would be excited about seeing Matt Healy.
Yes, of course. I've seen him recently at the arena. Yeah, it was very good. There is a rumour, Sacha, tonight you've got a bit of a special guest coming. I wonder if we can get any feelers out for no spoilers.
No, we just move on.
We just damn, we tried. So you're here tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
Have you had any sleep in the past sort of month?
Little, but some.
Okay.
I get through it. Normally I crash now Monday, Tuesday. It's fairly, the adrenaline just gets you going through the whole thing.
Do you sleep for a week then?
Yeah. What's really weird about tonight is because I'm not wearing it now, but through the daytime, an evening I wear an earpiece, so I'm listening to production talking. When I sleep tonight, although there's nothing in my ear, I still hear it. So
welcome to my world. That's Chatty.
It's an unsettled sleep.
Was there on a somber note? I mean, obviously we can't talk without mentioning what happened a couple of weeks ago. Was there ever a discussion that it may not go ahead in light of what happened?
Well, I mean, you know, we have to mention what happened 2.5 weeks ago, and we are going to pay tribute to that today. We have something really nice lined up for it. The first phone call I had the day after at 9 o'clock in the morning was a guy called Ronnie Nielsen, who's head of licensing for Greater Manchester Police, and he said, business as usual.
Oh,
fantastic.
At no point did the city ever want to buckle to the cowards that did what they did. No. You know, it's a very strong city, and we have very strong characters, and we've certainly proven that in the last 2.5 weeks. You know, I've always banged on about Manchester being special and the spirit of Manchester, but we've proven it now. You know, no one can ever take that away from us.
And the amount of tribute concerts that have happened, as well as the big one last weekend, you know, in town that have been popping up. The fundraising has gone, well, it's off the hook, and it's amazing. The people donating things from local businesses. You know, we picked up a load of food from the local businesses to take to the families in the hotels. The community have pulled together so much. It's been beautiful.
We've got kids today, and it's the first time I've ever seen this. We've got kids coming in and thanking the police. Wow. They're thanking them on the door.
I said that, didn't I? I noticed how suddenly they're you know, they're our heroes again.
That's it.
I mean, I don't think not since the Bobby on the Beat back in the day, and although I hate using that term, have we had this surge of appreciation and genuine gratitude to them, and you feel safe.
You do feel safe,
and like we've never done before.
Never.
So
it's a shame that it takes something like that for us to acknowledge it. I think, but you know, the doctors, nurses, police, hats off.
Yeah.
And back to you, Sacha. I have to know more about you. When you were younger, at school, and a little later, before the Hacienda thing, I've always wanted to ask a festival promoter, is this what you wanted to do if your dad asked you, sat on your knees, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a festival organiser. What does it take, and where did it come from? And when was that seed sown if it wasn't the Hacienda?
So, in all honesty, when I was younger, I wanted to be a footballer. That was the big thing. But the hiccup was I was football, so that was never really going to happen.
Not great.
Not a good start.
Wasn't going to happen.
So I honestly did not have a clue what to do. Didn't have a clue, and all the kids at my school were going to be accountants or lawyers, and it just didn't attract me in the
You have
slightest.
entrepreneurial side to you, a trait.
It would seem so, and it's not something that I've picked up on myself, but other people tell me that's the case. I'm not too keen on the word entrepreneur. I've done a few speeches recently at like Manchester Uni for the Entrepreneur Society, and I find it a bit of a weird word, almost like you're boasting about yourself.
Right.
I don't think it should have a title.
Right.
Okay. I imagine him to be selling lemonade, 8 years old, out on the doorstep in the garden.
I did. So no, I didn't do that. But my mum used to go to Macro. I don't know if it's still going. The big,
Is it
still going? The big cash and carry, and she'd
Yeah.
buy the big packs of loo roll and stuff like that. So what I do is I'd take orders from kids in my class of CDs and things. So I'd buy them at wholesale.
There you go.
And then,
In bulk.
That is why we're interviewing
I
you
love
now.
this. So I think we're going to have to wrap it up there, but just to say, I think Sacha's a bit of a blagger, and that's how he's got where he is.
I
He's
would
blagged
agree.
in the Hacienda and all back
I would
in...
totally agree.
Yeah.
Blagged
That's
it.
All the
good
best.
Blagged it,
guns
fluked it.
are.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
No,
for
thank you.
chatting
Great.
to us and
I
giving
hope
us
you
your
enjoyed.
time. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.